Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So Demetrius Andrade knocks out Jason Quigley in 2 rounds in a very one-sided affair. Now, going into this fight, I wasn't impressed with the level of opponent in Jason Quigley. I've never particularly rated him as a pro, and I expected him to lose this fight convincingly, and that's exactly what happened. However, Demetrius Andrade did exactly what he had to do. He needed a devastating early stoppage, and that's what he got in this fight. When it comes to Andrade, I think several times in his career, he's been in charge of certain fights, and he's let guys hang around for far too long. You know, guys like Artur Akavov, guys like Luke Keeler. You watch Andrade in those sort of fights, he's dominating, he's scoring knockdowns, but he's not really putting the foot on the gas to get these guys out of there quick. However, in this fight, he did exactly that, which is good. He needed to do that in this sort of fight. Jason Quigley was never going to win. He was a huge underdog, and you've got to make your opponent look like that, and that's what Andrade did. In the first round, Andrade wasn't boxing behind his jab like he usually does in most fights. He was more aggressive. This time around, it was Jason Quigley who was standoffish, trying to maintain range and keep away from Demetrius Andrade. Jason Quigley was trying to work off that jab and land single shots, trying to counter on the odd occasion. He landed a couple of shots, but nothing which affected Andrade. Andrade, when he let his hands go, you could see that his shots had far more power. He had far more speed, and he was far more damaging with his work. And in round 1, Andrade caught Jason Quigley with like a short right hook, kind of at the side of the head. That dropped Jason Quigley. He was hurt, but he beat the count. Andrade tried to finish him in the first round, but Jason Quigley got through the round, and he made it into round 2. Round 2 was where this fight ended. Once again, Jason Quigley trying to keep away from Andrade, trying to pick some shots here and there, but at this point he felt the power, and you could tell in his approach. He looked jittery, he looked worried, and it was only a matter of time before he got knocked out. In the second round, he got caught with a massive overhand left, bang on the chin, direct in the face. That dropped Jason Quigley again. Jason Quigley beats the count. Andrade essentially just jumps all over him, pushes him back to the corner, lands a flurry of clubbing shots. Jason Quigley goes down again, and after this third knockdown, the referee waved it off, and Andrade won by a second round stoppage. So all in all, a good performance by Demetrius Andrade. In my opinion, the sort of performance that he needed to put in this sort of fight. Hopefully now we can see Andrade progress in his career and have a more interesting fight. You know, in an ideal world, I'd like to see Andrade fight either Jermall Charlo or the Golovkin versus Ryota Murata winner, because they're unification fights. They are the fights I want to see the most. However, if he can't get those fights, I'd like to see Andrade fight Jaime Munguia. I think that'll be a good fight. Chris Eubank Jr. wouldn't be a bad shout. Liam Williams has now pulled out against Chris Eubank Jr. Why not try and make that fight? That'll be interesting. Janibek Alimkhanuly is another good opponent for Demetrius Andrade. Really good up-and-coming fighter from Kazakhstan in the middleweight division. Even a guy like Erislandy Lara, who's hanging around in the middleweight division, wouldn't be a bad opponent in my opinion. So there's guys out there who I want to see Andrade fight. Obviously, priority would be a unification fight, but failing that, there are some other good contenders out there in which I'd like to see him fight. So we'll see what happens with Andrade. Hopefully he gets an interesting fight next, but we will see. As for Jason Quigley, I mean, this proved once again he doesn't belong anywhere near world level, quite frankly. One of the worst title challengers I've seen in recent times, if I'm being honest. And yeah, Jason Quigley, I mean, could be a good domestic fighter, but yeah, it is what it is with Jason Quigley. Anyway, share your thoughts below. It's been your guy Delboy. Peace.